Hey guys, what's up? Murder of Birds here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Red versus Blue dedicated discussion video. A lot of you guys really liked the discussion video that I did before the finale reaction to Season 6. So I feel like anytime major things are revealed, whether it's lore-based or anything that can pick my brain and like get my theories and speculations and thoughts running wild, I'm gonna make videos like this. Like, a lot of people really liked that discussion. A lot more engagement than I honestly thought. For a while, I thought people really just cared about the reactions and not much of what I thought about the series. So I'm definitely going to be continuing on that. So that's the first thing. So this is going to be a discussion of basically everything that had transpired and was revealed to us after the Season 6 finale, with Church being the alpha AI, like being a true AI, being inside of Washington's head, and you know, the director reveal and the epilogue and everything else that we're gonna look forward to. It's not going to be as theory based as the last discussion, because the last discussion was like everything that I was thinking about before the reveals, and then the finale kind of really cleared the air of a lot of things and revealed a lot of things. So to me, it's going to be kind of, again, my interpretations of everything. There are a few reveals that I kind of discovered as I was like rewatching the episode and putting pieces together and stuff like that. But the first thing I really want to talk about, and the first thing I really want to relate to you guys, and I'm honestly looking for relatability at this point, because it's something that I've never experienced before in my life, and this is something that I know I've seen it a lot. I've seen like both friends and acquaintances and just fans of anime and fans of like works of fiction in general come to this conclusion as well. And I want to ask you guys this question. This is kind of a call to action. So answer this question in the comment section if it's ever occurred to you or if this has ever happened to you. But has a character death ever made you want to stop watching a series? And I like, that's a legitimate, serious question. The reason why there hasn't been an RVB video in the last week and a half is because, like, after my reaction, a lot of people in the comment section were clearing the air for me, especially because my reaction to some people was a little bit different, because I interpreted it completely differently, and I'm going to explain myself on that. But a lot of people explained to me that the Church that we've known for the past 6 seasons, Alpha Church, is legitimately and honestly gone. Like, dead. Like, the EMP or the EMP destroyed him and all of the other AI inside of the meta, and they're all gone. And to me, I didn't interpret it that way when I watched the reaction. Like, obviously you guys saw the reaction, but I was more excited and hyped and everything because, and the reason why I didn't feel, I didn't initially feel any sombering like emotions, you know, to losing my favorite character, is because this show has played death so lightheartedly. Like, death doesn't matter. Like, up until finding out about the AI, like, Church dying, it's like, oh, he's a ghost, it doesn't really matter. Tex got killed, oh, she's a ghost, so I guess no characters die in this. They've done fake outs for Washington, I think, twice now, where you think he's dead, but then he comes back, and then you think he's dead officially, but no, he's actually back again. So this show has made me not take death seriously at all. So when they literally were saying, when Washington was like, the EMP is going to go off, all of the AI and all of the, electronics in this area are going to be, like, destroyed. In my head, I was thinking, oh, well, that's clearly not the case. It's Church. You know, it's the leader of the Blues. It's Church, my favorite character. It's Church, the freaking ghost, you know? And the most disheartening part of all of it was that Church was like, he was like, when it goes off, I'll be fine because I'm a motherfucking ghost. Like, he himself didn't take it seriously either, just like I didn't take it seriously, just like death hasn't been taken seriously in the past 6 seasons. So when I went back and I rewatched it with that insight, I was like, I literally questioned if I wanted to continue watching this, like, because, like, and I'm not saying, like, it's not the fact that I feel like Church is the show or Church carries the show along. It's that I have grown so attached to this character that the show without him is it's so scary of a prospect to think. Like, I don't know what this show would look like without him. I really don't. And the past week or so, I was just very timid to go back into watching it because I was like, he's not going to be in it. Like, what is that? What does Red versus Blue look like without the leader of the Blues? You know, like, what does that look like? And I'm like kind of shaking right now too, because I even went on Twitter and I like tweeted my heart out. I was like, I love this character so much, and if he's really gone, it hit me like a fucking truck. I was like, there's no way that Church is gone. Season 6? And you're on season 15? Like, what the fuck does this show look like without him? Is he referenced? Is he talked about? Did he come back? I can't picture it. I literally can't picture it. And I even tweeted, I bought the Churchism poster. Like, I went on the Rooster Teeth site after that. I was like, no fucking way. If this character is gone, I need a piece of something to remember him by. And I bought the Churchism poster, and I'm going to be switching out that poster for the Churchism poster whenever I do a Red versus Blue reaction video, just so there's kind of like a different theme. And I'm obviously going to switch that poster when Ruby comes back. But yeah, I really want to know if any of you guys have ever experienced that, because I was legitimately like fighting, like internally struggling. I was like, what am I going to do? How are people going to react? How are people going to respond if I literally am just like, Church died, and I am so beside myself with emotions that I don't know if I can bring myself, because the word, like this is like the true fear. The true fear is that I watch this show and I'm just desensitized from everything. The true fear is if I watch this show and I just know in my head and I know in my heart, like, Church isn't here. One of my biggest, I always look forward to him, you know, like when he was in the past and then he made his way back to the future with everyone, that's another thing too. Like, I don't even know if that future thing really happened. I think they just like blew up the area or whatever, but you know, that's a discussion for a different time. But like, I really was considering like I'm just too scared to watch this show and not like it, or watch this show and it just loses me because a part of it is gone. And I don't know who the comment was in the comment section. Not the comment section, I'm sorry. Somebody had tweeted at me because I was relaying all this. I was like, she's really gone. I can't believe it. And someone mentioned that he might be gone, but for me to stop the show because he's gone wouldn't do his sacrifice any justice. The fact that Church sacrificed himself to save Washington, to save his team, to save the Reds, you know, the people that he, you know, in the first season, he was like, I fucking hate all of you. I can't stand any of you. And he made the choice to kind of be the bigger person and to, you know, be a part of something bigger, like bigger than just you. Like this situation is bigger than you. It's bigger than anybody else. And he kind of, you know, took Washington's advice and he sacrificed himself. And, you know, to not at least see where that leads and see the outcome of everything, like what's happening to the director. He's technically like, Church was based on him. You know, and Church and Epsilon's memories are based on Church, which were based on the director. And, you know, what's going to happen to the Reds? Like, they're at Valhalla now. They're at a Blood Gold. No. They're at Outpost 17B. And you know, Epsilon and Caboose are on the other side with Tex's body. So, like, what's going to happen with that? So, like, I'm just really I'm gonna brace through the pain of losing Church for the sake that I feel like, obviously, people are telling me like seasons 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, like I have so much awesome shit to look forward to, and clearly I'm not gonna give that up solely because my favorite character is gone. But I just have to be honest with you guys in saying that him dying really made me feel like I wasn't going to enjoy this show anymore, and made me consider not watching it anymore specifically for that. And like I said, that's never happened to me in my life before. There have been amazing characters in series that have died, like especially like Harry Potter. Granted, Snape died in the last book, so I was already at the very end of the series, but like, characters die left and right, and it's a part of storytelling. It's a part of life itself. Like, your friends and your family, you know, they can go any minute. And it's like, you don't just fall over and die with them. You know, you live because, you know, you live on for them. So, I don't know. I just really love the character. I love Church. I love the fact that he's voiced by Bernie, which I really feel like that's one of the main appeals to why I initially gravitated towards him, because I know Bernie and he's the dad of the community, and he's like a major. He's just a really big like role model to me, and you know, he's just a great person, and I love his vlogs, and I love everything about him, and I love that he's also the dad in Ruby Tai Yang. So I really feel like it's because it's Bernie, which I don't know what this show looks like without Church. You know, hopefully something along the lines can come about that. Like, I really can't picture that for the next 13 seasons, or how many seasons are there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The next 9 seasons, we don't have Church at all. We don't have any semblance or any any kind of hearkening back to him at all. You know, we have Epsilon, which has the memories. You know, memory is the key. We have the director who is based off of Church, so or rather who the Alpha AI was based off. So like, I feel like maybe some way they could create a new Church, or Epsilon has the memories of the Alpha, so if he's able to just detach himself from the crazy situations that were happening, maybe he could become Church or something. Like, I really do feel like there might be a loophole, or there might be something, a faint glimmer of hope that Church will come back, but as of right now, it's too immediate to tell, and I don't have any information to go off of. At the end of the day, what I just said was more of wishful thinking, because like I said, it's the first time that a character has died, and has really made me question, like, what am I doing now? Like, what's the point? Like, that's what it's really making me question. Like, it appears the meta's been taken care of. It appears that, you know, the director is really Dr. Leonard Church, so he's Church, or he's Church with all of the emotions and all of the well, he's not Church, he's just based off of him. So in a way, they could kind of make a new Church if they wanted to, technically, of how they originally made the Alpha, but I don't really know if they're gonna go down, like, because that's just gonna create a cycle, and it's just never gonna end. I don't know what happened to the meta, you know what I mean? Like, if all of the AI inside of him are dead, then who is main? You know what I mean? Like, what remains of Maine? Is his mind, like, all fucked up because he had all these AIs inside of him? What happened to Washington? You know, like there's just a lot of unanswered questions. That EMP is not going to affect him. It's not going to affect humans. It's only going to affect machines and, you know, technology and stuff like that. So, like, at least those questions. Like, I still want to know what happens to, like, the Reds are at, like I said, they're at Outpost 17B. I still want to know what happened to Washington. He got shot, and he was down, he was wounded. I highly doubt he's dead, because, again, they play that death, you know, they play on death with him so much that I feel like when he dies, it's going to be the same thing with Church. I'm just not going to believe it. And then once it's actually, like, solidified, I'm going to be torn apart. So that's, like, the first thing I wanted to address to you guys, was just the fact that I really didn't know what I wanted out of this show at this point, because Church is gone. And I didn't know if I was in it for the wrong reasons. I didn't know if Church was getting me through. Like, I know he wasn't, but when you stop and you just think, like, okay, I'm feeling this way because one character died. What does that say about the entire series thus far when he was alive? You know what I mean? I was really questioning that. But, I don't know, like I said, that's never happened to me before. I've never, ever dropped a show because a character died. Never. And maybe it's because I wasn't as attached to those characters as I am with Church. Maybe it is because, you know, Church was such a massive appeal to me, and I never thought I'd see him go. Especially not this early, considering season 16 or 15 just ended. So that's really the first thing I wanted to get out of the way, and like I said, I want you guys to let me know if that's ever happened to you guys. If you guys ever did, like, seriously straight up drop it, did you guys continue it? Did you guys drop it and then go back? I just feel like it's a different can of worms for me, because it's RVB, and I don't know what the future is. Like, I'm still in, like, the youthful stage of Red versus Blue right now. But that's the first thing that I wanted to mention. Like I said, I have a list of things right here that I want to talk about. Similar to the last discussion, nothing is... It's very informal. It's very off the cuff and everything. I just have, like, a list of different things that I want to say. So really quick, again... Tex is confirmed to have been the AI. Someone told me to go back and rewatch the scene where where Church reveals himself to the AI, and like all of the AI kind of like project themselves forward out of, or just it's like a projection of the AI in response to seeing the alpha. And in the corner, you can see like a dark shaded AI. That's Tex. So it is confirmed that Tex is an AI. She must be the beta. I don't know what emotion that would be. Maybe badassery, because she's a badass. So Church and Tex are both AI. And I came to this conclusion on Twitter. My mind was fucking blown. Like, I made the conclusion. I had to, like, tweet. I had to tweet it in the form of a picture of a form of a text that I wrote in a notepad on my phone because there's not enough characters on Twitter. But I basically put the connections of Washington had mentioned that the director and the counselor, I think, were both very, very taken of Tex. Like, they treated her like their favorite. They gave her special treatment and all of this kind of stuff. And Church is based off of the director, but in the epilogue, he mentions something along the lines of someone very dear to him, losing someone very dear to him very soon, and the thought of that loss eating away at him. And my interpretation of that is that maybe it was his girlfriend, maybe it was, I would assume the director's wife passed away. And the best way to retain what was left of her was to create an AI based off of her. Because like Washington mentioned also, all AI are based on a human mind. So, and here's another thing that I want to clarify too, because I completely got this wrong until the very end. I was under the impression that the director and the alpha AI were the same person. For some fucking reason, I thought they were the same person. Like, the fact that it was like they're only based off of them. So it's not, it's almost kind of like a mini-me, like a clone of that person, but it's not a spitting like, I guess they just have the same mannerisms and the same kind of demeanor as the person that they're based off of. And a lot of people were mentioning like Cortana and Halsey from Halo, but unfortunately I hadn't played Halo 1 and 2, and when I did start Halo with Halo 3, I didn't play the first two games, so I've never paid attention to the story. So I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that Cortana was an AI based off of Halsey. And I remember who Halsey is because she was in Halo Reach. She's like the lady with the short hair, so I can see that comparison, and I really love how they kind of applied that in the Halo universe to Red versus Blue. I didn't know that was like a concrete foundation in the Halo series that they're using for RVB. So my interpretation is that the director's wife has died, and the best way to kind of retain what's left of her is to make an AI based off of her. But the one thing that I'm wondering is, was Tex created before she died or after she died? Because if Tex was created after she died, how was she able to be created? You know what I mean? Like, the host or the person that it's based off of is dead. Unless you just need like the genetics of the person, you don't actually need like a subconscious transfer or something like that. If you just need like some genetics, like hair DNA, like a hair sample or something like that, I can see that happening. But that's just the one thing that I'm wondering, if the person needs to be alive or dead in order to have an AI, which would then mean Tex had to have been created before she passed. And then the director himself makes himself into an AI, the first AI, the alpha. And what's super cool, and I missed this initially in the reaction as well, he mentions that there is no punishment for the damage that we inflict on ourselves, which the entire epilogue is him kind of being like, oh, I'm really sorry, Chairman, that you want to press charges, but nobody's going to convict me because technically I'm torturing myself. The AI is based on me. Therefore, all of the experimentations and poking and prodding and and all that kind of stuff, all this torture, technically I'm doing it to myself. But the difference is the director doesn't realize that is now its own entity. Technically speaking, he is right. He is torturing himself, but he's not the one being inflicted with all the pain and suffering and all that. It's this unique, specific individual that just happens to have its own conscious now. So in a way he's right, but in a way he's still wrong, because if I create a clone of myself, here's Murder of Birds, my clone Murder of Birds 2, and I punch my clone in the face, he's experiencing that, not me. So I can see it both sides, but at the same time I can say, well, he's created from me, so technically I punched myself. But then again, I guess you can say the same thing for identical twins, because they're literally split right down the middle. What would you say about that? Like, would you say you're torturing yourself? You know, but then again, I don't know. I'm splitting hairs right here. Like, that's completely different. Like AI to human versus human to human. So I found that very, very, very interesting that his case, you know, the case for him kind of not being charged is like, I'm torturing myself. This AI is based off of me, and I'm doing all of these things to myself and for the pursuit of mankind and for the continuity of our species and to win this war. And it's kind of hard to argue that, because at the like again, for technicality's sake, not taking morality into any of this, he is right. He is torturing himself. He's not torturing somebody else. He's not torturing, you know, a different AI from somebody else. He's torturing his own self, his own AI based off of him. So I thought that was a very interesting argument that I was like, he's got a solid case there. Like, you can't really say much about that. And again, the silver lining of that is that Tex would be based off of the director's wife, and Church is based off of the director. And lo and behold, Church and Tex are in a relationship, which I found that to be even more sad. The fact that he lost his wife, and then, you know, Church and Tex, you know, all of the AI were together and they all died too. So at the end of the day, he's alone again, unless he somehow decides to make another Tex, or another Church. Like I said, I feel like maybe you can keep making these AIs like over and over and over if you know the process and make them the exact same way. But if Tex is gone from being destroyed by the EMP, what is the director going to do? You know, I feel like that was one of the reasons why he kept her around, is because that was the closest thing to his deceased wife. So that was another really interesting factor. Oh, this one right here. This was actually mentioned in the comment section and makes so much fucking sense, right? So in the epilogue as well, like the epilogue has a lot of reveals, by the way, but in the epilogue, the director basically mentioned that he's never fought in a war. He's never been on the battlefield. He's never, like, killed somebody, right? And that would explain why Church is a fucking terrible shot. Because he's based off of someone who's never been in war. Never shot a gun. Never killed anybody. Initially, I thought it was maybe, like, a safety protocol. Like maybe they kind of use that so that way the alpha AI doesn't kill humans. Maybe I don't know. Like, I just figured that was like the best example or the best scenario for why he's a terrible shot. Like, someone point blank in front of him and he can't shoot them. So I thought it was maybe like a safety protocol, but I guess it would make sense that it doesn't make sense. But for the sake of comedy, it would make sense that Church can't shoot for shit because the person he's based off of can't shoot for shit. So I just thought that was really funny. And it makes it really interesting that the director for the Project Freelancer, which is this super soldier-esque project, like, what would happen if your AI turned against you, or if these super soldiers turned against you? You would have no way of defending yourself. So it's kind of crazy that he has a very high level of power, but he's got no combat experience. I would assume, like, the Secretary of Defense or, you know, a general in, you know, an army or something like that at least served to some extent. You know, being a police officer, you know, a Marine, or like something, you know, some form of formal training or some form of, like, real life experience, like out in the field, you know, or out on the battlefield, etc. But it's really surprising that he has no type of combat experience, but he's in such a high position. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. And I think that's really all I have to really kind of address. Like, it was more of kind of interpreting a lot of the things that came to light. With, like, right now, like, everything is kind of open in the air right now. I don't know how they're gonna ebb back into season 7 because it seems like the meta's been taken care of. I doubt it, just because Maine is still around. So now that Maine is around, I don't know if he's gonna be going off on a bloodthirsty, like, berserk, like, rampage based on the aftermath of what the AIs had done to him, or what his psychological state is after having, like, 10 different, like, mentalities in your head. We saw a few other AI as well. I think the 2 AI that we saw, like, in the very back, I think those were the 2 AI that were inside of, what's her name? That were within Carolina. So but then we have like Sigma and Theta. I don't really know what AI those what their emotions were based off of. I don't know if it's ever going to explain that. Are the AIs like really gone? You know what I mean? Like, they build up these AI. We didn't even get to see all of them, and it was only the AI in that immediate proximity. So does that technically mean that there could be other AI out there that the meta just hasn't gotten yet? You know what I mean? Like, freelancers that are out there that the AI hasn't tracked or hasn't come across or anything like that. Because I feel like everything that the meta has been, getting has all been in somewhat of close proximity. I just feel like the AI, the whole AI freelancer ability enhancements kind of like situation ended so abruptly, even though it started in season 4 with the Out of Mind miniseries. But I thought that was a very good approach. I don't know what kind of conflict is gonna arise at this point. I don't know if we're gonna go back to shenanigans. I don't know if there's a deeper plot line, with the director, with Epsilon, which it seems like I said, Caboose took the casing that had Epsilon, and I don't know if he's gonna use the body of Tex, or the body that Tex had, to kind of put him as a host for himself. That's going to be very interesting, because that's essentially a new character. But again, like I said, if he can detach the insanity part of himself with the conscious part of himself, maybe, memory is the key in everything. He has the memories of the Alpha AI, and maybe he can kind of recollect himself to become Church that we knew of, or just a brand new character, maybe the new leader of the Blues since he's with Caboose. And Tucker is somewhere else. Like, even Tucker, yeah. So like, Tucker was briefly, like, I guess, displayed or expressed in the finale scene, in the finale batch that I did. He said something along the lines of, "It's under the sand," which I don't know what that means. I don't know where he is. The only thing I can think of is that he's on the map Sand Trap, because I remember Halo 3, that's the sand map. And then there's another sand map that was on the Mythic map packs, but I don't remember the name of it. But I don't think that's what they used, because the Mythic maps came out way later. So I'm assuming we're going to be venturing off to a different part of the Red versus Blue worlds, or the universe, or whatever, wherever Tucker is, wherever there's sand, whatever's under the sand, or whatnot. But yeah, I'm really hoping that there is a silver lining to all of this, that it's not all doom and gloom, and then it's kind of like a restart to something else. I don't know what season 7 is going to offer us either, in terms of like leading into a new plot. It seems like it's going to focus on the Reds and the Blues. I'm sorry, just the Reds, because they have their own base and they're under a new command now. So, I don't know. It's all conjecture. It's all speculation. I really don't know what to make of anything else. But yeah, that's kind of the little discussion. It's not really, I guess it wasn't necessarily, like I said, wasn't really massive in terms of theories or speculations. It was really kind of interpreting everything that was happening and learning a lot of the new information leading up to leading up to the next miniseries, like I said, which will be Relocated, and then we're gonna get into the season 7 trailer, and then season 7, which that will be my episode 1 through 4 reaction. So if you guys enjoyed this discussion, let me know if you guys want to, still have continued discussions like this. Maybe I'll do one at the end of every season, or because I did want, like, the first one I did was right before the finale of season 6. So, like, if anything major, anything thought-provoking, or theory-inspiring, or speculation-inspiring is brought up, I'll definitely make more videos like this, because, like I said, you guys really enjoyed it, and that's the only reason why I'm going to continue doing these, because you guys really liked it. A lot of engagement there, and I loved reading your comments, so thank you guys so much for that support. But, I just really hope, really hope that Church wasn't what was stringing me along. I really hope that the show is still great even though he's gone. I don't know if there's going to be a silver lining to him being gone. What's going to, what's going to happen with Epsilon? Is Tex really gone too? Is the director going to ever come into the picture? Is he going to make a clone of himself again so we can get the old Church back? I don't know. It's all conjecture. It's all in the air right now. Memory is the key, so that's kind of the only thing that I'm holding on to, that somehow Epsilon is going to be the key to everything at this point. So, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little brief discussion of the Season 6 finale and epilogue discussion. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of my thoughts and discussions of it. And I will see you guys in the next video for Relocated miniseries. Take care.